Air travel is unquestionably one of humanity's greatest accomplishments. However, there's a fear about flying, a fear of what may happen if something goes wrong. This paranoia is not unfounded, since there have been several aircraft disasters that resulted in large casualties. The world's worst plane accidents were horrific disasters, many of which might have been avoided if the pilot and crew had taken greater precautions. The world's deadliest plane accidents have wreaked havoc on the minds of passengers all around the world. Like many subjects, people tend to be fascinated by what they fear. Aviation disasters are no exception, but it is important to remember that plane crash deaths are relatively rare. Air travel is generally highly safe, and commercial planes are extremely reliable machines. Some plane crashes, however, have left lasting imprints due to the unique circumstances or indelible images. Today I will take you through the deadliest air crashes in history. But before we continue with the video, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and also hit the bell icon so you are notified about our new videos. Number 5. 2014 Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. Date: disappeared March 8, 2014. Cause: shot down, possibly by a Russian missile. Deaths: 298. The plight of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 made headlines worldwide in 2014 when the plane crashed just outside of Donetsk, Ukraine, under mysterious circumstances. There were no survivors out of the 298 passengers aboard. The plane had obviously been shot down by a military missile of some kind, but the responsible party was not immediately clear. After years of investigations, Dutch investigators announced in March 2018 that the Russian military launched the missile due to tensions between the Ukraine and Russia at the time period. Despite the report's conclusion, it remains unlikely anyone will be charged in the attack, as Russia is not expected to extradite the responsible citizens to face charges. Number 4. 1974 Turkish Airlines Flight 981. Date: March 3, 1974. Cause: mechanical failure. Deaths: 346. On a route from Istanbul to Western Europe, Turkish Airlines Flight 981 suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure that resulted in the aircraft crashing into the forest of Hermanville, France. It was because of a design flaw and the failure of Moroccan baggage handlers to properly read and understand instructions provided to them in both English and Turkish language. An improperly sealed door to the cargo hold caused the plane to depressurize mid-flight, and this resulted in several people being sucked out of the plane. The depressurization caused massive damage to the plane, including a destroyed engine and a partial floor collapse in the passenger cabin. No survivors were discovered at the crash site, claiming the lives of all 346 souls on board. Number 3. 1996 Charkhi Dadri Midair collision. Date: November 12, 1996. Cause: air traffic controller error. Deaths: 349. The Charkhi Dadri mid-air collision is one of the worst mid-flight collisions in the history of aviation, killing everyone aboard Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763 and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907. The planes were flying near the New Delhi airport when the collision happened. The collision was caused by miscommunication between air traffic controllers, as both flights were given the approval to use the same airway at the same time. The planes were traveling in opposite directions, with one ascending and the other descending when they slammed into each other. The Saudi Arabian Airlines plane broke up in the air before hitting the ground, while the Kazakhstan Airlines flight crashed into a field. All 349 people on both flights perished in the disaster. Number 2. 1985 Japan Airlines Flight 123. Date: August 12, 1985. Cause: mechanical failure. Deaths: 524. The crash of Japan Airlines Flight 123 remains the worst air accident involving a single aircraft to date. The Boeing 747 was carrying 524 passengers, including crew, when it crashed into mountainous terrain at Mount Takamagahara, northwest of Tokyo. The flight, which departed from Tokyo's Haneda Airport, was on the way to Osaka. Just 12 minutes into the flight, the unthinkable happened. The aircraft suffered explosive decompression. This resulted in the loss of rudder and hydraulic systems, effectively crippling the pilot's control of the aircraft. Despite this, the crew managed to keep the plane airborne for another half of an hour, but it finally crashed into a ridge, killing 520 passengers, leaving just 4 survivors, all women. Number 1. 1977 Tenerife Airport Disaster. Date: March 27, 1977. Cause: runway collision. Deaths: 583. What was to be one of the worst disasters in aviation history occurred as a result of a series of unfortunate events, starting with an explosion at Gran Canaria Airport in Spain. This resulted in a number of flights being diverted to Tenerife Airport, including the ill-fated KLM Flight 4805 and Pan Am Flight 1736. As a result of dense fog, the absence of ground radar and miscommunication, the two Boeing 747s collided with each other on the ground, claiming the lives of all 583 passengers on board in both the flights, of which only 61 passengers from the Pan Am flight survived. That were 10 of the deadliest air crashes in aviation history. While the human cost from such air crashes can never be measured, don't forget that each of these unfortunate incidents led to improvements in aviation technology and safety, making air travel safer for all of us today. If we missed any, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video, and until then, take care.